Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, I should say, here in Hamilton, Montana. James LaFontaine, and welcome to Day 2 of the 2020 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament. And it is the Vikings taking on the Warriors of Arlee this afternoon. Scheduled for 3:30 tip-off. Glad you're here with us. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes of the Vals, and pregame brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. For all your grocery needs, including an amazing bakery, deli, and much, much more at 8111 Highway 35 and Bigfork 837-5010. Say hi to Marcus Balgos and the gang at Bigfork Harvest Foods. For all your grocery needs, make sure you shop at Bigfork Harvest Foods, official sponsors of the Bigfork Vikings and Valkyries in the Divisional Tournament for 2020. Had a chance to talk with head coach John Hollow before the ball game, and this is what he had to say.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Hamilton, Montana, the 2020 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament, and it is Game 2, the 3:30 semifinal, featuring your Bigfork Vikings taking on the Arlee Warriors, and I'm here with the head coach of the Vikings, Mr. John Hollow.
How you doing today?
Well, good, John. A great win last night. We talked about that on the post game, so we won't really get into that. I mean, guys really stepped up, Epperly, especially in the fourth quarter. But talk about your kids get good rest, everybody healthy and ready to play today against Arlee, a team that you did not play during the regular season, but probably you've seen film on and watched them right here yesterday.
Yeah, we had a good night last night. Got to watch some games. The boys came and watched the girls play, and got a good dinner in them. They were all quiet at 10:15, which was nice. So yeah, we got a good night, and I think they're excited for the opportunity. I'm excited for the opportunity, and it's going to be an interesting game. Like you said, we haven't seen them this year. However, we've seen some teams that play like them, and they actually play a lot like Anaconda does. So I think we got a pretty good idea of what we need to do going in, and now it's all about going out and executing and putting the ball in the hole.
Well, both of you guys made it here to the semifinals. Arlee, the first game, was able to take down Eureka 58-51. Even Arlee being a 4 seed and Eureka the 1 seed, I see not a lot of differences with the teams in the Western B. And then the huge win for you by 5 over Anaconda, 48-43. So talk about Arlee. Who is the key person? I mean, I kind of watched yesterday's game, that left-handed number 24 to stop for Arlee. Is that the key guy you got to take care of?
No, you know, they've got about 4 guys that all shoot it well. Tanner's their best player, number 11. Probably averaging 20-ish on the season. So, again, they're a lot like the team we played yesterday. They have really good guard play. They have really good kids that can shoot the ball. They got some low guys, or some post guys down low that can do some damage on offensive rebounds and stuff. But, again, we're at the point now of the season where this is about what we do and not necessarily about what the other team does. And that's what we've got to stay with that mantra, that we've got to come out. We've got to, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record after yesterday. We got to dictate the tempo. You know, we got to take care of the basketball. We got to get what we want. When we do that stuff, we're a dang good basketball team.
And yesterday, I thought exactly that as I was watching the game, and I know you really slowed it up and were very deliberate about getting good shots, and I think that was the key to that game. We kept it, in the 40s yesterday. You're talking about 50s or 60s, but down in the 40s, able to take care of that. Are you looking to do that same thing against Arlee today?
Yeah, Listen, I've told you before, I think our guys have the potential to put a big offense game together, but right now that's not us. That's not how we're built. And at some point in my tenure at Bigfork, we will have teams that score in the 70s, but right now, this is how we got to win basketball games. And the great thing about it is I really think our kids have bought into that. It's not a dang insult to go win games defensively. You've seen a lot of state championships won defensively, so I think today we're going to have some success on offense. I think we can exploit them in some areas, and if we do what we did defensively and continue to do what we do offensively, that's when we're a really good basketball team.
Well, Coach, they say defense wins championships, and defense can lead to your offense and getting out in some particular cases. But I think one of the key things today is, unlike yesterday, keeping Colt on the floor and out of foul trouble early. I know Bjorgi really stepped up. Wyatt Duke came in, played good. Gilliard Arlee, Fisher, guys contributed, but you're such a higher level team, in my opinion, when Colt is on the floor, because you have that option. You can't replace 6'7".
No, and he averages 13, 14 a game, but people don't realize the impact he has defensively. I mean, he's a man amongst boys down there. So yes, that was a 15-minute conversation yesterday and today about how we're going to keep him on the floor, number one. Number two, I really think our posts could exploit them today. I think that's where we have a definitive advantage, and we've got to look to do that. So we're going to pound the ball inside. We're going to do a bunch of things. We need to guard the three-point line. If we do that, I really love our opportunities to move on. I do.
Yeah, so another day of working inside, and I see what Arlee had when I watched them yesterday. I think you do have an advantage on the inside, especially with Colt and then also Bjorgi down low. Even when Wyatt Duke gets in there, you take care of that and work inside out, pound it in, we don't have it, kick it out, and Arlee, along with Fisher, they're draining those threes. You guys are going to be dangerous.
Yeah. It's no secret. Again, they're going to know what our game plan is, so they're going to do what they need to do to take it away. So our guards are really going to have to handle their pressure, and if our guards can do that and work the ball inside out, again, we're going to be able to take advantage of some of the things they do defensively.
Well, you got, I say, 32 minutes, punch yourself to the championship of this division with an opportunity to head to state, but we don't want to look past this game. You got to take care of business against Arlee and have an opportunity to head to the championship and divisionals in your first year as a head coach. How does that feel?
What an opportunity for the boys. I mean, again, the last month has been a dang struggle. It really has. And it would have been real easy for them to, I don't want to say throw in the towel because that's not the type of kids we have, but it would have been real easy for them to lose focus and lose belief and everything else, and they haven't done that. And we're one win away from a divisional championship game. So what an opportunity for our kids tonight. What more could you ask for? I think at the beginning of the year, if you would have said this is the predicament we're going to be in, who would want that? I think every damn person in the locker room would want that. So,
well, and I'll say, going into this year, I didn't know what kind of team, because you come off 2 back-to-back championships, you lose all those kids, no experience, and I think you've done a great job at molding these kids. And like you said, exactly, they do not quit. They keep coming, and they're going to keep playing. They lose a game, they come right back. You don't want to lose games here at this level, right, when you get in a tournament, but they never say die, and they'll keep fighting, and I think I'm looking forward to today's ball game.
Yeah, they've been just a phenomenal group of kids to be around through all the ups and downs. They've been fun to be around. They've been fun to coach, and like you just said, they work their tails off, and that's something to be said. There really is something to be said about that. So I'm extremely happy for them, and they've not only deserved this opportunity, they've earned this opportunity to play for an opportunity to go to the championship game and hopefully a trip to the state tournament.
Yeah, I know last night looking, there was a lot of folks that the MHSA went down the streaming wise and had some issues, but a lot of folks listening at BFSD events, and shout out to those folks paying attention that can't get down here to Hamilton and around the country paying attention to your Vikings. And I'm looking forward to another exciting game. It was great to call the game yesterday, very exciting. So I'm looking for another great game out of you and a great game against Arlee tonight, and good luck against the Warriors.
All right, thank you very much, James. I appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, Coach John Hollow.
All right, Coach John Hollow on the pregame show, brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. We're about 1:27 till we tip off here as the Vikings take on the Warriors from Arlee. Haven't faced them this year, so there's no head-to-head record, but seen a lot of film, watched them yesterday, and like Coach said, we got to shut down the three-point line for them and take it inside and dominate on the inside. Well, let's take a look at your starting lineups, brought to you by Gilliard Painting. And for the Warriors, they'll start a 6'1", sophomore, number 21, Levi Fullerton. At 6 foot even, Coach was talking about him. He's a senior, number 11, Cody Tanner. Also a senior at 6'4", number 23, Billy Fisher. Tappet Haynes, number 24, is a 6 foot even senior, and 6'5" senior, number 30, Zachary Running Crane for head coach Zachary Conco Camel. This is by Isaac Camel and Sean Matt. The starters for the Vikings today, the same ones as we had yesterday. And it's Colt Thornus, the captain, a 6'7" senior. Also Wyatt Reichenbach, senior, at 6'2", wearing number 3. And Walker Fisher, the point guard, at 5'7", a junior, and wearing number 5. Number 21, freshman, 6'1", the key to the game, and a big fourth quarter with 12 points yesterday and 6 of 7 for the free throw line to seal the ball game against Anaconda, wearing number 21. And a 6'1" junior, number 23, Isaac Bjorgi, head coach John Howell, assisted by Bronson Harker and Jim Epperly. We'll see how this game goes today. Getting ready for the tip-off, and today's officials. And we'll take a look here at the boys. We have Ray Baumgardner and Richie Borden, and I believe it's Chris Anderson, the other one, for today's ball game. So they're doing the introductions, and tip-off today will be brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. What's keeping you from getting fit? Discount against practice, personal training, Pilates. Hey guys, we got a lot more going on at the Montana Athletic Club. Some new things going on there to the MAC, the Mesa Functional Training Area in honor of Saia Mesa. 2,500 square feet of functional training area and a lot more. Jungle Gym Daycare and a new recovery room, updated locker rooms, and much, much more. Thank you to the Montana Athletic Club for sponsoring, official sponsors of the Bigfork Vikings and the Divisional basketball tournament. And looking at Northwestern Energy. Teamwork. Northwestern Energy salutes all of the players, coaches, and fans of Montana High School Association sports. Montana students install pride in all of us and inspire us with their teamwork. Northwestern Energy team members also believe in the power of teamwork. Working together, we can continue a tradition of dedicated service. Northwestern Energy, a proud sponsor of the Montana High School Association. Finishing up starting lineups, and we'll get ready to tip off here from Hamilton, Montana, the 2020 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament. It is your Bigfork Vikings. They are in their home whites with the blue trim and gray lettering, taking on the Arlee Warriors in their red uniforms with white stripes on the side and wearing white numbers. And wrapping up for the lineups for both teams, and we'll get ready to tip this thing off. Colt Thornus off. You see, he has to stay out of foul trouble, and they're going to as well for the Vikes. And then Wyatt Reichenbach, if he can get it lined up on the 3 as well. Well, official says they shake hands as Colt Thornus. And Ben Johnson is the other official will be throwing it up today. It'll be Zachary Running Crane against the 6'7" Colt Thornus, and we're ready to go here from Missoula, Montana. Tips it up, tips it back. Epperly controls it for the Vikings. He'll break it across the timeline, running the point guard, the freshman Epperly at 6'1". Looking, gives it up over the right wing to Fisher. Fisher underneath Epperly. Epperly on the baseline, looking to back it in, and he's going to travel as he tries to back it down against the number 11, Coder Tanner. And turnover by the Vikes. It'll be Arlee basketball. Just getting started here in Hamilton, Montana. And across the timeline is Tanner. Tanner looking, goes to the right wing. Trying to look underneath, fits it in the corner. Number 21 is Fullerton. Fullerton gets it back over to Running Crane. Running Crane on the far side to Tanner. Tanner underneath, Running Crane gives it back. 23, Fisher. Fisher underneath and throws it away as Arlee cannot handle the pass. And intended for Haynes underneath. And it'll be Bigfork basketball. 7:16 to go here in quarter number 1. No score yet. And to Reichenbach. Reichenbach will give it up to Fisher. Left wing in the middle to Epperly, tapped away, but Reichenbach comes up with it, going to bring it across the timeline, or try to, and gets it across, almost loses it, goes down, and kicks it over to Bjorgi, and they're going to tie it up on the far side as Running Crane ties it up with Epperly, and it'll be a held ball, and arrow points towards Arlee with 7:01 to go. No score yet here in the ball game, and Arlee has it inbounds. Tanner across the timeline for Arlee. He'll give it over to Fullerton. Fullerton back out to Fisher. Fisher's check that. Hayes three-point shot, no good. Rebounded underneath by Fisher. And Fisher will take it up. He'll get fouled. Shot is no good, and they'll go to the free throw line, looks like. Or maybe they called it on the ground. They're going to call it on the ground on the rebound. That is the first against Isaac Bjorgi. First team foul. Tanner inbound, chip three, right, misses everything, and Reichenbach comes up with a loose ball, gives it up to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline on the right side, and he's going to get fouled and reach in there by Fullerton for Arlee. First one on Fullerton, first team foul on the Warriors, and still no score. And Reichenbach on the far side, heading right to left. Well, backdoor to Bjorgi. Bjorgi going to take it up. Spin, tries to go inside, puts it off the backboard, no good. And coming down with the rebound is Running Crane for Arlee. Quickly up to Tanner. Tanner will give it up to Fullerton. Fullerton travels as he tries to drive to the hole, and a turnover by Arlee, and Bigfork basketball. Inbound at Epperly. He'll get in the corner to Reichenbach. Reichenbach looking, gives it up to Epperly. Epperly across timeline. Tries to fit it down into, and stolen away by Arlee. Quickly up to Tanner. Tanner puts it up off the backboard, no good. And Reichenbach will foul Tanner as he goes to the backboard. His second team foul. And that'll put Cody Tanner at the line to shoot two for Arlee. 6:12 to go and still no score. And Tanner, first shot on the way is good. He'll get one more. Does Tanner, shot on the way is good. And a 2-0 score on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Reichenbach inbound to Bjorgi. Bjorgi in the backcourt gets back to Reichenbach. Give it over to Colt Thornus. Colt Thornus at 6'7", gives it over to Reichenbach. Quickly up to Bjorgi. Across the timeline to Fisher. Fisher out near half court. Gives it up to Epperly. Epperly on the right wing extended. Guarded there. Underneath the Colt Thornus. Thornus going to take it up. He's going to get fouled before he gets the chance to put the shot off. And so it's on the ground. And that'll be the second team foul on Arlee. And that'll be the second one on number 21, Levi Fullerton, inbound to Colt Thornus. And he's going to get fouled on the inbound play. And that'll be on number 23, Billy Fisher. His first and third team foul. Fisher under his own basket, near side, looking to get it in, gets it in. White Reichenbach, baseline jumper, no good, tips it out. Tanner controls it for Arlee, who likes to run. Tanner will give it over to Tappet, and coming down the lane, back door. Fisher puts it back up on the miss by Running Crane with the left hand is good, and a 4-0 Arlee lead. Quickly in, Bjorgi over to Reichenbach, back to Thornus, back to Bjorgi. Bjorgi going to cross court, it takes it across the timeline, feeds it in the corner to Epperly. Epperly on the right wing, feeds it to Bjorgi. Bjorgi looking off the backboard, no good, but right there is Colt Thornus, and Thornus gets fouled on the putback. And that'll be, looks like on number 21. If it is, that will be his third personal. And that is the third personal on Levi Fullerton. 14 foul, and Thornus to the line to shoot two. First shot rolls over the front of the rim as drops is good. Wyatt Duke replaces Bjorgi, and number 10, Micah Johnson replaces Fullerton, who's got three for Arlee early. Thornus a second shot off the rim and no good. Rebounded there by Running Crane. They'll give it up to Tanner. Tanner quickly up to Hayes. Hayes looking to drive. Jumps in to Reichenbach, and it's either on Reichenbach or Thornus. And they're going to call that one, I believe, on Colt Thornus. That is his first and third team foul. And to the line is Tappet Haynes for Arlee. 5:09 to go. 4-1 Arlee leads on the UPS Store scoreboard. Rims it around the rim, uses all the rim, and it drops for Haynes. And a 5-1 lead. Haynes will get one more for Arlee. Misses it. And bringing it down, Epperly gets it. Then to Colt Thornus down baseline. Left wing, three-point shot on the way. Misses by Fisher. And trying to drive is Tanner, and he'll get called for the travel. Is a little bit out of control is Tanner, as Arlee likes to run. Inbound, Epperly with the basketball from Fisher. Gives it over back to Fisher from Epperly to Reichenbach. Reichenbach will take it across left wing, back to Fisher, over to Epperly on the right wing. Back out top of the key for Fisher. He'll give it to Reichenbach on the left wing for Bigfork. Looking underneath, Colt Thornus. 3-point shot on the way, top of the key, off the back. And Thornus finds that the bank is open late and banks it in for three and pulls the Vikes within one at 5-4 on the Bigfork Village scoreboard. Tanner, top of the key, looking to drive, kicks it over. He gives it up to Johnson. Johnson, guarded by Epperly. In, driving is Fisher. Fisher's left-handed layup is missed. Coming up with Reichenbach, gives it over to Fisher. Back to Epperly. Epperly trying to go the right side. Going to take it in, drive it all the way, and shoots the floater. Coast to coast goes Epperly for two and a 6-5 lead. Tanner, here comes Tanner, looking. And he travels as he jumps into Fisher. Fisher holding his position, and Tanner a little bit out of control. And Bryce Gilliard will come in for Walker Fisher. And Gilliard to inbound. Looking, gives it over to Epperly in the backcourt. Epperly looking to drive outside against Tanner. Tanner. Shot underneath the White Duke. White Duke takes it right to Colt Thornus. Thornus lays it up over the front of the rim and good for two. And an 8-5 Vikings lead on the Bigfork Village scoreboard. 3:24 to go here in quarter number one. And Tanner with the basketball. He'll give it up over to Haynes. Haynes looking to drive back to Fisher, and Epperly reaches in. He get called for the foul. That will be his first and a 14 foul. So 14 fouls apiece on each, the Vikings and the Warriors. On the far side, inbounding is Hayes. Hayes dumps it in the backcourt to Tanner. Tanner at the top of the press is Wyatt Duke. Tanner brings it across the timeline. Looks it over. 1-3-1. Looks like half-court zone. Shot on the way. 3-point by Haynes is missed. Rebounded there by Gilliard. Gilliard will give it over to Epperly. Back to Gilliard. Gilliard's going to across the timeline. Holds on. Back on the left side. Wyatt Reichenbach, hop step. Shoots a three, but he travels before he gets the shot up. And it'll be turned over by Bigfork, as Thornus will get a break, and Isaac Bjorgi returning for the Vikings. 2:46 to go here in quarter number one, an 8-5 Vikings lead on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Tanner with the basketball for Arlee. Looking to set it up. Wyatt Duke set it up top. He'll give it over to Fisher. Fisher looking to drive on Epperly underneath. Gives it up to Running Crane. Running Crane trapped underneath, and Epperly comes up with a loose ball. And scrambling for it on the far side, Johnson, and Epperly is going to get called, I believe, for his second, as the ball was on the ground and they're fighting over it. And that is his second 15 foul. Haynes, the inbound for Arlee on the far side, and Fisher will return for Epperly, who has to sit with two early. Fisher in the backcourt. Gives it up to Tanner, and Tanner will bring it across the timeline. Wyatt Duke right there. Running Crane sets a screen, stolen away by Wyatt Duke. Wyatt Duke looking to go coast to coast, and he throws it up. Foul from behind, as Duke looked like he was going to try to throw it down early for the Vikings, but he'll go to the free throw line as that foul is called Check that on number 23. That's Billy Fisher's second. And the 15th foul, and Wyatt Duke will go to the line for the Vikings to shoot 2. 2:11 to go here in the first quarter. Duke's first shot is up and good by the Vikings forward. And he'll get one more. Duke puts it up. It's good. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And a 10-5 lead as they double up Arlee on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard with about 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Gives it over to Haynes. Haynes looking to drive. Left-handed. Likes to shoot it. The 3-point. Over to Fisher. Fisher looking to drive. And knocked away. Tanner picks it up. Throws it off the backboard and good. And he'll get fouled there by Bjorgi, it looks like, as the bucket counts. And on number 23, Isaac Bjorgi, his second 6-team foul. And that'll be put Cody Tanner to the line to shoot the and 1. So Tanner's shot up is good. Pulls Arlee within 10-8. Reichenbach inbound, looking. Gives it over to Duke. Duke back to Reichenbach. Over the middle, gives it up to Fisher. Fisher left side, looking to drive over to Reichenbach. Got to get across the timeline. Gives it up to Bryce Gilliard. Gilliard driving in back to Fisher. Fisher top of the key over to Reichenbach on the right side. Reichenbach setting it up top of the key, looking. Gives it over to Fisher, right wing. Fisher looking to drive on Johnson. Throws up a shot, no good. Rebounded there by Running Crane. And quickly down is Tanner. Tanner drives it to the basket, no good. And tipped up in good by Fisher and ties the game at 10 with 1:15 to go here in quarter number 1. Reichenbach, Fisher. And Haynes goes right into Fisher and fouls him. That'll be the 6-team foul as he pushes him. And that'll be Haynes' first 6-team foul on the Warriors. Number 0, Asher Van Kampen checking in for Bigfork. And returning for the Vikes, number 1, Colt Thornes. And in the backcourt, Reichenbach inbounds to Van Kampen. And Duke can't handle it. And it rolls out of bounds. Turnover by the Vikes with under 1 minute to go here in quarter number 1. Haynes inbounding to Tanner. Tanner dribbling in the backcourt. Crosses the timeline. Duke out high. Tanner looking to drive. Takes it right at Colt Thornes. Throws it up. A wild shot. Nothing but air. And Gilliard comes up with the ball. Out to Reichenbach. Back to Gilliard. Over to Van Kampen. Van Kampen gives it back to Gilliard. They had that 2-on. They got a 3-on-2. And Gilliard pulls it out to Van Kampen. 35 seconds. Coach calling out for one shot. Wyatt Duke top of the key underneath. Gives it up to Colt Thornes. Colt Thornes catches it and knocked out of bounds by Arlee. And 27.8 to go. And Reichenbach will inbound on the far side. Gives it up. Reichenbach over. Wyatt Duke in the corner. Gives it up to Gilliard. Gilliard looking to drive. Throws up the shot. Misses it, but gets his own rebound and puts it back up off the backboard. It's good by the freshman Gilliard. And a 12-10 lead by the Vikings. 14 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. And Tanner will bring it up, looking for the last shot for Arlee. Looking to drive right side. Goes right at Colt Thornes and flops. Falls down. Wyatt Duke, he's trying to go out Colt Thornes and get that second foul on him early and get him out of the game. But shoots it short. Duke can't handle it and out of bounds with .9 to go. Johnson throws it up at the buzzer. Misses everything. So 1 quarter in the books. The Vikings lead 12-10 on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard. Gilliard Painting, interior and exterior painting and staining, pressure washing, parking lot striping, property caretaking. Chip Gilliard, 1080 Swan Horseshoe Drive in Bigfork, 210-7794, or Chip Gilliard at yahoo.com. I'll be back with the second quarter here from as Arlee trails 10-12 to the Vikes here in Hamilton, Montana. The 2020 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament, day number 2. Well, in the background, you hear the Bigfork High School pep band playing a great atmosphere down here. Lots of folks from Bigfork down here, and as well as Arlee, all the other teams checking it out. Second quarter, the ball belongs to the Vikings, and Reichenbach will inbound on of Epperly, Thorness, Fisher, and Duke on the lineup for Bigfork. Tanner, Johnson, Fisher, and Tanner steals it away from Epperly. Quickly goes up the court, pulls up for a jumper. It bounces off the rim, off the backboard, and good to tie the game at 12 apiece. Tanner, along with Haynes, Fisher, Johnson, and Running Crane over to Reichenbach. Reichenbach looking across the timeline, and he does, guarded by Tanner. Finds it to Epperly. Epperly knocks it around. Coming up with it is Fisher. Fisher quickly up to Tanner. Tanner looking to drive. Back to Fisher. Fisher over the corner to Haynes. 3-point shot, no good. Thorness comes up with the rebound for Bigfork. Out to Walker Fisher. Walker Fisher looking to drive. And taking it all the way. Fisher pulls up. Short group. And Walker Fisher will come up with a loose ball. No. Epperly comes up with it as Fisher had it momentarily. And Johnson guarded by Epperly. And the coach, John Hollow, will take a timeout for Bigfork. And looks like a 30-second timeout. A reset, 6:56 to go to halftime. We're tied at 12 on your UPS Store scoreboard. 16 fouls apiece. Next one will put each team in the bonus at a 1-on-1 possession arrow points towards Arlee at this time. And the timeout is about over. The winner of this ball game on the boys' side will head to the championship game tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And the loser is in a loser-out game at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, taking on Thompson Falls, who earlier beat Mission 62-59 in loser-out action. I'll get all your other scores later on. And a 5-second violation as Reichenbach could not get it in to one of the Vikings. And turnover to Arlee. And Haynes is going to inbound to Tanner. Tanner will bring it across half court. Screen set up by Running Crane. Tanner gives it over to Fisher. Running baseline blocked there by Colt Thorness. Thrown back up by Running Crane. The left hand is good. Into Epperly. Back to Reichenbach. Over to Fisher. Fisher looking. Gives it up to Epperly. Epperly looking across the timeline. Gives it back to Reichenbach. Reichenbach top of the key. Over to Epperly. Knocked from behind. Tanner knocks it away from Epperly. And Tanner with a crossover. Puts it up left-handed. Is good. Into Reichenbach. Back to Fisher. Fisher looking. He's going to dribble across timeline. Gives it up to Reichenbach. Can't handle it as the pass is high out of bounds. And a turnover by the Vikes. And Arlee with a 16-12 lead on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard as Gilliard will return to the lineup, replacing Reichenbach for the Vikes with 6 minutes even to go to halftime. Tanner out top. Will give it over to Running Crane. Running Crane in the corner. Gives it up. 3-point shot in the way. Partially blocked. And Tanner saves it. Throws it out of bounds. As Haynes misses everything. And Gilliard will inbound in front of the Bigfork bench on the near side, or far side, excuse me. Epperly will give it up to Fisher. They got to handle this pressure, break this pressure, and get it underneath to the big guys. Gives it up to Gilliard. Gilliard back to Fisher. Fisher looking. Finds Colt Thorness underneath. He's double teamed. Colt Thorness off the glass. Through two defenders and scores with the left hand for two. At 16-14, the Vikings within two. 5:27 to go on your UPS scoreboard. It is 16-14. Warriors lead the Vikes in the corner to Johnson. Back to Running Crane. Out to Haynes. Haynes will give it up to Fisher. Fisher, top of the key, guarded by Epperly. Spin move. And the left side, he'll throw it up and misses everything. Gilliard tried to come up with it, taps it out, and he's on the sideline. Gilliard is, as he tries to save the basketball. Inbounds for Bigfork. Arlee will take a timeout. A 30-second timeout will stay right here. 5:04 to go here till halftime, and a 2-point ball game. On your Bigfork Village Forest scoreboard, it says Arlee 16 and Bigfork 14. Well, while we're doing that earlier today, in loser out action on the boys' side, it was Eureka beating Mission 67-52. They move to the 10:30 game tomorrow morning in girls action, that is. Eureka 67-52. And they'll move into loser out action 10:30 at the middle school, and they'll take on the loser tonight, the Valkyries and Thompson Falls Lady Blue Hawks. I'll give the rest more of your scores here when I get a timeout or at halftime. Running Crane inbounds to Tanner. Tanner, top of the key. 2-3 zone by Bigfork. Gives it to Running Crane. On the drive is Fisher. He scores the left hand and take a 4-point lead. Fisher, Epperly, Gilliard. Gilliard over to Fisher in the backcourt. Got to get it across the timeline. Epperly dribbles it up the right side. Big back to Gilliard. Gilliard kips it back to Epperly. Gives it over to Fisher. Fisher on the left side. Need to drive it in underneath to Colt Thornus. Fisher with the basketball. Gives it up to Epperly. Epperly looking. Top of the key, Wyatt Duke. Over to Gilliard. Gilliard looking. Gets it underneath the Thornus. Can't quite handle it. And rolling around on the ground, it's tipped. And a backcourt save there by Epperly. It was tipped, so there's no over and back. Epperly moves it across the timeline. Guarded there by Fisher. And Epperly, spin move, looking. Gives it over to Walker Fisher. Back out to Epperly. And the foul is going to be called on Cody Tanner, as he's trying to front Colt Thornus underneath, as Fisher was trying to feed him. And that'll be Tanner's first 17th foul, and a one-on-one opportunity for Colt Thornus for the Vikings. Thornus' first shot on the way. He'll get the bonus. So he gets one more, pulls the Vikings within 3. Second shot by Colt Thornus. Up. Nothing but the bottom of the net for the Vikes. And they're within 2 at 18-16. 4 minutes to go here until halftime. And Tanner, top of the key. He'll give it up to Running Crane. Running Crane looking to drive. Pulls up at the outside the 3-throw line and drains it for 2. Bjorgi back in the lineup for Bigfork. Gives it up to Gilliard. Tanner right behind as Gilliard catches it. Takes it away. Running Crane throws it up. Off the backboard is good for 2. And inbound to Gilliard. Up to Epperly. Epperly on the right side as Arlee's looking to track back to Epperly from Gilliard. So Epperly with the basketball over near the scorer's table on the right side. He'll bring it out to the top of the key and try to run some offense. Gets it into Gilliard on the left wing. Bjorgi, top of the key, looking under Thornus. Thornus trying to get position. Bjorgi still with the basketball. He's looking to drive it all the way to the basket. Off the backboard. He is good. He is going to be fouled and go to the free throw line for an opportunity for a 3-point play by the 6'1" Isaac Bjorgi. Van Kampen coming in the lineup for Walker Fisher. And Bjorgi to the line. He'll shoot 1. And try to complete the 3-point play the old-fashioned way. Bjorgi's shot up. Off the rim, no good. Colt Thornus tips it up. Running Crane tips it out quickly to Haynes. Haynes launches a 3-point shot. No good. Bjorgi comes down with the rebound with 2:59 to go. Bjorgi gives it up to Gilliard. Up to Van Kampen. Over to Epperly on the right side. Crosses the timeline. There's Epperly. Brings it out. There's Isaac. Isaac looking. Drive. Up off the backboard. No good. Running Crane comes up with the rebound. He'll give it up to Tanner. Quickly up to Haynes. Haynes looking to drive on Colt Thornus. Up and under. Misses it. Epperly comes up with the rebound. He'll give it over to Bjorgi on the right side. Up to Van Kampen. Van Kampen settling down in the backcourt. The Vikings do not want to run with Arlee. Want to set it up. Van Kampen looking to drive. gives it over in the corner to Gilliard, and gives it over to Van Kampen. They won't call double dribble because it was tipped away. Epperly, Colt Thornus looking, he's banged there by Tanner. Puts it up off the backboard, no foul called as Colt was getting banged around, and Tanner comes up with a rebound. A full timeout taken by Arlee as Zachary Runningrade taps his head. That means he needs to be substituted for, and we'll take a break here. 22-18, the Vikings trail by 4. 1:59 to go to halftime on your UPS store scoreboard. All your printing and shipping needs, 439 Grand Avenue in Bigfork, Montana, 837-2002. Brad Stoddshill and the folks at the UPS store. Say hi, official sponsors of Bigfork Vikings and Valkyrie basketball here at the Divisional basketball tournament. We're back from Hamilton, Montana. The rest of the first half of the 2020 Western B Divisional basketball tournament between the Vikings and the Warriors. All right, we welcome you back. We're back in Hamilton, Montana. Vikes trail by 4, 22-18. It is Arlee basketball. Inbounding this time. Haynes will take the point for Arlee. He'll give it up to Johnson. Top of the key, guarded by Epperly. In the corner, throws it up, no good. And Colt Thornus right there, bangs around. Bjorgi will come up the rebound, and he'll get fouled. And that'll be the 19th foul on Arlee. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot a 1-1. That is the second foul on number 24. Tappet Haynes for Arlee. And Isaac Bjorgi will go to the free throw line to shoot a 1-1. And Wyatt Duke at the scorer's table check in for the shooter, Bjorgi. And Running Crane will return to the lineup for Arlee. And the first free throw of the 1-1 by Bjorgi is up. Bounces out, no good. And Gilliard going down hard is Running Crane. And Gilliard's going to get called for reaching over. So a push in the back. And that'll put Billy Fisher in the line, I believe, to shoot a 1-1 as they are now in the bonus. And as that is the first on Bryce Gilliard. And the 17th foul on the Vikes. And Fisher goes to the line to shoot a 1-1. Shot up. Out, no good. Thornus comes up with the rebound. He'll give it over to Van Kampen. Van Kampen in the backcourt. Guarded there by number 22. That's Jake Arca. And a traveling violation called on Van Kampen. He'll turn it over to Arlee. Arlee will get it in their side of the basket. Half court in the front court. He'll throw it in the back court. Does Haynes to Tanner. Tanner gives it up to Fisher. Fisher looking, pulls up the free throw line. Shot, no good. Rebounded there by Bigfork, I believe. Got a little blocked out by the official as I'm sitting here courtside. And the foul is against Arlee. And that's number 23, Billy Fisher's third already here in the first half. 10th team foul. And that means Asher Van Kampen goes to the line. And he'll shoot 2 for the Vikings. So the Vikes in the double bonus now. Van Kampen short off the front of the rim, needs a little bit more leg. And that'll bring Johnson back in for Fisher. Micah Johnson with 1:17 to go. One more for Van Kampen. Puts it up. This time he drains it. And Ball came in early, but there was a substitution. Reichenbach at the scorer's table. He comes in to the ball game for Van Kampen. 22-19. The Vikings trail with 1:14 to go to halftime. Tanner, top of the key. Wyatt Duke right there to meet him. And give it up to number 22. Arca looking, drives left side on the left wing. Nobody to throw it to. Throws it out to 24. He's going to shoot up a three. No good. Colt Thornus right there with the rebound as Haynes misses that three-point shot. Fisher over to Reichenbach. Reichenbach left side looking. Gives it over to Fisher near half court. They're looking to set up for a shot. Fisher looking to drive. Back door to Reichenbach off the back. Glass and good for two by Wyatt Reichenbach to pull the Vikes within one. 35 seconds to go here in the first half. Tanner looks like he'll hold for one shot as he brings it up. Gives it over to Haynes. Haynes back to Tanner. And 20 seconds to go till halftime. And a 1-point lead by Arlee, 22-21 on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Tanner calling out the play. And he'll set up and start to dribble. Tries to dribble in, takes it out. Colt Thornus puts it up off the backboard and good. 1.2 to go. Throws it in as Tanner takes it right at Colt Thornus. Thornus backs up so he doesn't pick up that other foul. And scores two. And at halftime brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. And I'll be back with your halftime stats. It is Arlee leading at halftime, 24-21 on your UPS Store scoreboard. We'll be back with the halftime stats from Hamilton, Montana momentarily. All right, welcome back to Hamilton, Montana. 2020 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament at halftime. And halftime brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. Well, what's going on at the Montana Athletic Club? Features weights and machines, cardio machines, internet-capable screens, state-of-the-art lift fitness and hammer, strength weight machines, gymnasium, basketball court, swimming pool, locker rooms, Pilates studio, aerobic studios, yoga studio, spin studio, indoor racquetball and squash, outdoor courts for tennis, Hex indoor tanning bed, on-site Ask a Trainer desk, and concierge desk. Also new to the MAC is the MISA functional training area, the Jungle Gym Daycare, and a new recovery room, updated locker room, steam room, dry sauna, and jacuzzi. New small group functional classes available. Join MVU Tribe today. The Montana Athletic Club, sponsor of your halftime stats. Taking a look at this at halftime. It's 24-21 as the Warriors score there right at the buzzer on a drive by Tanner and take a 3-point lead as the Vikings had pulled within one, and leading the way obviously is Tanner. 6 in the second and 5 in the first. He has 11. Fisher. Billy Fisher has 6. Also 6 for Zachary Running Crane. 1 for Tappet Haynes, who's missed a lot of threes. And 10 in the first, 14 in the second for 24 at halftime. And looking at your Viking stats here momentarily, as I'll bring those up. Leading the way, Colt Thornus with a big 3 early, 5-6 in the first and 4 in the second, and is 3 for 4 from the free throw line, and a total 9 leading the way for Vikes. Asher Van Kampen 1 for 2 at the free throw line, 2 by Wyatt Reichenbach on the nice layup. Wyatt Duke 2 for 2 at the free throw line. 2 by Bryce Gilliard. And Epperly with 2, so we need some more scoring out of Epperly. And nothing for Walker Fisher. He needs to get open and take a look at a 3. Bjorgi with 2, 0 for 2 at the free throw line. 12 of the first, 9 in the second. And that brings it to 21 at halftime as they trail by 3 here in Hamilton, Montana. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows. Thanks once again for joining me here in Hamilton, Montana at the Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament. I'll give you girls action first earlier in loser out action, so that'll affect things going in tomorrow with more games on the way. It was in loser out action at noon today. It was Eureka 67-52 over Mission. They move into a 10:30 a.m. ball game, loser out action tomorrow at the middle school, and they'll take on the loser of the Thompson Falls Lady Blue Hawks and the Bigfork Valkyries, who play tonight at 8. On the other side, in a really good ball game, Anaconda came back, won 59-56 in a battle against Deer Lodge, and Deer Lodge as well as Mission are done with the tournament. And Anaconda moves on to a loser-out game at 10:30 tomorrow morning right here at Hamilton High School. And they'll take on the loser of the 6:30 game tonight between Loyola, the Heartbreakers, who are unbeaten on the season, and the Florence Lady Falcons tomorrow at 10:30. Taking a look at the boys' side, in loser-out action at 9 a.m. this morning. It was Anaconda taking it to Eureka, 64-53. And that'll put Anaconda in a 9 o'clock game tomorrow at the middle school. And they will take on the loser of the Deer Lodge Loyola game that comes up after this game at 5 o'clock. On the other side, it was Thompson Falls with a nice win, winning 62-59. It would have been by more if they would have made some of their free throws down the stretch, but still a 3-point win by Jake Nicholson's team. And Thompson Falls moves into a 9 a.m. loser-out ball game right here tomorrow morning, as they'll take on the loser of this ball game between Arlee and Bigfork. The winner obviously moves into the championship ball game at 6 o'clock tomorrow night and will take on the winner of the next ball game between Deer Lodge and Loyola with a chance to punch their ticket to state. Well, that wraps up their scoring here at the Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament here in Hamilton, Montana, at the Hamilton High School, the Dale Berry Court. I will take a short break and be back with you for the second half here from Hamilton, Montana. The Vikings trail by 3, 24-21 on your UPS of Bigfork scoreboard. Well, the Bigfork High School band playing in the background. We're ready for the second half. And it looks like the possession arrow points towards Arlee. And coming out for the Vikes, it'll be the same starting lineup. Bjorgi, Reichenbach, Epperly, Fisher, and Thornus. For Arlee, looks like the same. Number 11, Tanner, Fullerton, who's got 3, Fisher, Haynes, and a running crane. And we're underway here in the second half from Hamilton, Montana. Inbound to Tanner. Tanner will give it up to Haynes. Haynes over to Fullerton. Back to Haynes in the corner to Fisher. Back out to Haynes. Throws up the three-point shot left-handed. Off the rim and no good. Colt Thornus coming up with the rebound. Knocked away. And off of Thornus out of bounds. And it will be Arlee basketball underneath. Inbounding is Fullerton. Three-point shot on the way. Drained there by Cody Tanner. And 27-21 lead, Epperly. So basketball across the timeline. Gives it up to Reichenbach. Reichenbach looking on the right wing. Reichenbach out to Epperly. Epperly top of the key. Gives it up to Colt Thornus. Colt Thornus off the glass. No good. Reichenbach tries to get the rebound. And rebounded by Arlee. And in the front court to Fisher. Back out to Fullerton. Three-point shot on the way. No good. And coming up the rebound is Reichenbach for Arlee. And Fisher with the basketball in the front court and trying to help somebody out here with some of the names. Three-point shot on the way by Fisher, misses everything. And coming down with it, he tries to throw the touchdown. Does Haynes, and he misses it to Tanner on the run out. And it'll be turned over to Bigfork. Okay. All right, Epperly with the basketball up the court. Crosses the timeline. He's going to take it right at him. Pulls up the free throw line off the backboard, misses it. And Fullerton comes up with the rebound for Arlee. They'll give it up to Running Crane, breezing across the timeline. Haynes looking to drive. Tipped in by Running Crane. And the Vikings trail by 8. Tanner trying to guard Epperly. Epperly crosses over between his legs on the floor. Scrambling for it is Isaac Bjorgi, Epperly, Tanner, along with Haynes. And Van Kampen, who came in the ballgame for Bigfork, will be replaced by Fisher. And the arrow points towards Bigfork possession. And Reichenbach will take it out. Reichenbach looking. Gives it in. Tips it by Bjorgi. Epperle comes up with it. Gives it up to Walker Fisher. Fisher will give it back to Epperle. Epperle going to the right wing. Looking to drive. Kicks it over to right Reichenbach. Underneath the Colt Thornus. Thornus baseline. Spin move. Off the glass. No good. Running. Crane comes down with the rebound, quickly up to Tanner. Tanner looking, and he carries it. No doubt about that one. Like carrying the groceries home from the store. He gets called for it. Turnover by Arlee and Bigfork basketball. On the far side, so the Vikes hitting left to right. And unbound does Reichenbach to Fisher in the backcourt. Fisher looking, back to Reichenbach. Quite handle, gets on the court. Epperle will come up with it. And on the ground is Reichenbach and Tanner. It'll be a held ball. And Gilliard will replace Epperle. And this time the arrow points towards Arlee. Inbound is Fulton. Near the scores table. He'll throw it in the backcourt to Tanner. Tanner will call things out and cross the line. In the front court is Tanner. He'll give it up to Fullerton. Fullerton looking to drive on the screen by Crane. Puts it up and over off the backboard over Thornus. Reichenbach inbound to Fisher. He'll give it over to Gilliard. Gilliard looking back to Fisher. Fisher to Gilliard. Got to get across the timeline. Gives it up to Fisher. Fisher has a wide open. Got to drive. Free throw line. Puts up the shot. Is good by Walker Fisher for two. Pulls the Vikes with an 8 at 31-23. And Tanner with the basketball. He'll bring it across the timeline for Arlee. Do not want to get in the running game with Arlee. Shot put up. And Fisher will come up the rebound. Bjorgi ties him up. Off the missed shot by running Crane. And Wyatt Duke will replace Isaac Bjorgi. The arrow points towards Bigfork. And Reichenbach on the end line. On the far side will take it out of bounds. Also replacing Fisher is number 10, Micah Johnson for Arlee. Inbound to Duke, back to Reichenbach, over to Colt Thornus. Colt Thornus corrals it, throws it over across the timeline to Gilliard. Back to Fisher. Fisher with the basketball. Over to Gilliard on the right wing. Gilliard looking underneath, finds Colt Thornus, top of the key. Thornus looking, Wyatt Reichenbach, left wing, underneath the Wyatt Duke. Duke kicks it out. Fisher, three-point shot on the right wing is off the rim, no good. Gilliard tries to grab the rebound and brought down there by Haynes. He'll give it up to Tanner. Tanner quickly up the court driving. Goes right at Colt Thornus. Throws up the floater, no good. Thornus with a great rebound there. Goes up high and yanks it down. Gives it back to Gilliard. To Fisher. Reichenbach back to Fisher. Got to get across the timeline. Walker Fisher across the timeline for Bigfork. Stolen away, knocked away. Fulton comes up with a loose ball. Knocked away by Duke. Duke comes up with a steal. That pass was intended for Johnson to Gilliard to Reichenbach. Reichenbach looking across the timeline. Bounce pass to Fisher. Fisher on the left wing. Wyatt Duke throws up the shot off the backboard and no good. They can't get things to drop. Fulton quickly down with the rebound across the timeline on the right wing. Looking to drive in, spin, goes right at Colt Thornus, throws it up crazily, no good. Reichenbach gives it up to Fisher. Back to Reichenbach. Reichenbach right side. Fisher, top of the key. The Vikings cannot run with Arlee. And timeout taken by Bigfork as coach is not happy. He's trying to get him to settle down. You cannot run with the Warriors. Bigfork is a slow down team. Got to slow it down, be patient, and drive it inside. And I think he's trying to get him to do that. They trail by 8, 31-23 on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard with 3:04 to go here in quarter number 3. And just like yesterday, Arlee tries to get you in a running game, and you don't want to do that. You want to take care of the basketball and pound it inside for Bigfork. A full timeout taken. I'll be back here with more of the third quarter from Hamilton, Montana. Yeah. Welcome back to Hamilton, Montana. Wyatt Duke on the far side going to take it, inbound it. And Epperly trying to check in. Wyatt Duke gives it in the backcourt to Fisher. And Fisher gives it over to Duke. Duke, right corner, gives it to Colt Thornus. Thornus taking it up strong. He's got fouled. And that's what the Vikings need to do, keep pounding it inside to Colt. They have no answer for him, and Colt's got to make some buckets down the stretch. But he'll go to the free throw line. That is the fourth personal on Levi Fullerton. First team foul on the Warriors in the second half. First shot up, off the back of the rim, and no good. Epperly will come in the ballgame for Bigfork, replacing Reichenbach. And number 22 is Jace Arca. He'll come back in for Arlee, and Thornus will get one more. Puts it off the front of the rim, no good. And Running Crane comes down with the rebound. He'll give it up to Tanner. Tanner on the left side, crosses the timeline. Looks like a 2-3 zone by Bigfork. He'll give it up to Haynes. Haynes to Tanner. Top of the key, back out to Haynes. Haynes, right wing, kicks it in the corner to Arca. Back out to Haynes. And Duke tries to kick the field goal, and it's off his foot, and it'll remain Arlee basketball. On the near far side, excuse me, they'll take it out to the scores table, Will Haynes. Checking back in for Bigfork. It'll be Asher Van Kampen replacing Walker Fisher. With 2:32 to go here in the third quarter, and trailing 31-23 the Vikes. Into Tanner. Running Crane sets a screen. Gilliard right there, nearly stills it. Van Kampen almost gives it Haynes, dribbling left-handed, driving to the left side all the way around, and goes crazy, throws it out of bounds as he loses it, trying to go up, and it will be Bigfork basketball with 2:17 to go here in the third quarter. 31-23 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. The Vikings trail by 8. Van Kampen to Colt, back to Van Kampen, over to Duke. Van Kampen in the middle to Gilliard. He'll feed it up to Duke. Duke's got to take it all the way to the basket. Duke off the glass with the right hand on the left side, scores 2 on a nice drive by Wyatt Duke. And the Vikes within 6, just under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Tanner over to Haynes. Haynes left side. Throws it in the corner, stolen away. Van Kampen comes with it as Epperly knocks it away, and Van Kampen comes up with the ball. Van Kampen quickly up. Gilliard left side, looking to attack. Takes it in, feeds Wyatt Duke, throws it. Freshman mistake. Wyatt Duke loses it out of bounds, and Gilliard. Fisher coming back in for Arlee. And Haynes will inbound to Tanner. Tanner slowly brings it up the court for Arlee. 1:33 to go here till halftime, or excuse me, in the third quarter. A low-scoring ball game into Fisher. Three-point shot on the way is good by Micah Johnson. And the Vikings can't allow that. Quickly up to Gilliard. Gilliard in the front court, gives it up to Van Kampen. Van Kampen over to Epperly. Epperly, guarded by Johnson. Backed out to Van Kampen. Van Kampen looking, driving. Haynes guarding him. Epperly. Back to Van Kampen in the corner, looking for Colt Thornus. Thornus looking to drive, and knocked away by Tanner. As every time Thornus gets the basketball, he's getting double teamed by 2 of the Warriors players. And inbounding is Van Kampen. Van Kampen looking. Kicks in the corner, Haynes. Haynes in the right wing. Or excuse me, Epperly. Guarded by Haynes. Epperly puts it up, no good. Fighting for it, or Bigfork, Duke, and Thornus And coming up with the rebound is Tanner. Tanner with the basketball, 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And the Vikes trail by 9, 34-25. Tanner near half court, holding it out, trying to get the Vikings to come out and play defense. They're going to be holding for one. With 25 seconds to go. Trying to make Bigfork come out and play defense is Tanner. Tanner goes by. Haynes takes it right at Thornus. No good. Wyatt Duke comes up with a rebound and a personal foul on Running Crane. As Tanner just basically out of control. That is the second one on a Running Crane. As Tanner's taking it right out, Thornus trying to draw a foul, and Colt not having any of that. 5.7 to go. Vikings trail by 9, and they'll have the basketball underneath. Bryce Gilliard to inbound for Bigfork. And Fisher back in for the Vikes. Colt Thornus going to throw one up. It's good if it goes in. Off the rim, nearly falls by Colt Thornus. And no good. We got 3 quarters complete. And the Vikings trail by 9, 34-25 on your Bigfork Village scoreboard. And we're back here with the fourth quarter from Hamilton, Montana in the 2020 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes of the House. Glad to be with you here in Hamilton, Montana. All right, welcome back to Hamilton, Montana. It's fourth quarter. Warrior basketball will start the fourth quarter. Epperly, Gilliard, Fisher, Thornus, and Bjorgi for Bigfork. Running there. Haynes on the drive, takes it right at Isaac Bjorgi. They didn't call a blocking foul. Looked like Bjorgi was set there the whole time. Haynes scores the bucket, and that'll be a foul on 23, Isaac Bjorgi, his third. And Haynes will go to the line. The first team foul here in the second half. Talking to the official, in between is only 3 fouls called in the second half. Misses the free throw as Haynes, and Bjorgi comes up with the rebound. Epperly in the backcourt with the basketball. Over to Fisher. 11-point lead by Arlee. Epperly across the timeline for Bigfork. In the corner. Gives it up to Colt Thornus. They'll feed it underneath to Bjorgi. Bjorgi off the glass is good for 2. Isaac Bjorgi is going to have to dominate underneath. And pulls the Vikes within 3. Haynes with the basketball. Gives it up. Back in the game is Fullerton. So Fullerton, Haynes. Running Crane. Knocked away, blocked by Epperly. Going out, Fullerton is going to travel. So Fullerton, Tanner, Haynes, Fisher. The starting lineup originally for the Warriors, and Running Crane for Bigfork. Thornus, Gilliard, Bjorgi, Fisher, and Epperly. Bjorgi for the basketball. Over to Gilliard. Colt Thornus got to get across timeline, throws it to Fisher, and timeout. It was close to 10 seconds, and Coach Hollow will take a 30-second timeout so they don't get that 10-second call. And 7:08 to go here in the fourth quarter. 36-27, a low-scoring ball game, and you think that would be in Bigfork's favor. And 36-27 on your UPS Store scoreboard. 2 team fouls against Arlee here in the second half, 1 against the Vikings. So they're letting them play here And Bigfork needs to come up with some big shots. Bigfork, who took the timeout, will inbounds. Isaac Bjorgi inbounds the backcourt to Epperly. Epperly. Stolen away by Tanner. Tanner jumps right into Epperly, scores the bucket. And then he flexes his muscle towards the Bigfork crowd. And I thought that might be a T. Tanner to the line, try to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Tanner goes up, drains the end one, and lead 39-27, a 12-point deficit for Bigfork. Quickly up, Epperly. Back to Bjorgi in the backcourt. Got to get it across the timeline. Colt Thornus. Thornus is going to throw it up. Stolen away by Fullerton for Arlee. Fullerton throws up a three-point shot. Colt Thornus with the basketball, gives it out to Fisher. Quickly, up the left side goes Fisher in the front court. Epperly looking, gives it underneath to Bjorgi, knocked away by Tanner. And Arlee gets you scrambling and running crazy, even though you try to slow things down with their pressure defense. Fisher inbound, finds Epperly in the corner. Epperly looking, feeds it under Colt Thornus. Thornus driving the baseline to put it up, and he'll get 2 free throws. As the foul's called on number 11, that's Cody Tanner. And that is a third team foul, his second personal. And Colt Thornus to the line to shoot 2. Trailing by 12 with 6:27 to go. Thornus' shot rolls around off the rim, in and out, and no good, and he'll get one more. Plenty of time for the Vikes to get back in this one. They just got to make some shots and play some defense. Second shot is good by Thornus, an 11-point lead by Arlee. Haynes with the basketball, crosses the timeline. Goes at Fisher, go to Fulton. Fulton, nearly stolen away by Epperly. Up, nice pass there by Tanner to Fisher, and scores 2. In the backcourt, back to Bjorgi. Bjorgi looking, and he's going to travel. There's no one there for Bigfork, and the Vikings having trouble figuring out this half-court trap here that Arlee puts on. And it'll be Arlee basketball underneath, and it'll be Fullerton inbounding for the Warriors. He throws it right past everybody, meant for Tanner, and it will be Bigfork basketball. As a turnover by Arlee. Gilliard will inbound to Colt Thornus. Thornus over to Bjorgi. Back to Gilliard. Up to Colt. Colt looking. Over to Gilliard. Gilliard back door. Finds Bjorgi. Bjorgi goes up. And he'll go to the line to shoot the and one as he scores the bucket on the nice pass back door to Isaac Bjorgi. And Bjorgi goes to the line. That is the third personal on Zachary Running Crane. 4th team foul. And Bjorgi to the line to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Vikes within 11. 5:50 to go. Bjorgi shot up off the rim and no good. And Tanner comes up with the rebound. Plenty of time. 11-point lead by Arlee. On your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard, 41-30. Tanner looking to drive on Epperly, goes in, throws up a wild shot, falls to the ground, and calls a timeout as he catches the ball off the rim. Tanner going right at Colt Thornus. And Fisher will return for Arlee. A full timeout taken by Arlee. We'll be back here from Hamilton, Montana, as the Vikes trail 41-30, 5:29 to go in the ball game on your Gilliard Painting scoreboard. All right, welcome back to Hamilton, Montana. We got 5:29 to go here in the ball game, the semifinal. The winner will move on to the championship game tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And we'll take on the winner of the Deer Lodge Loyola game. Scheduled to tip next. Loser take on Thompson Falls tomorrow morning right here at 9 a.m. Colt Thornus on the inbound play. And Max checked it. Running Crane tries to be blocked by Thornus. He scores for 2. And the Vikings just throwing it away right here. Fisher over to Tanner. Tanner, Running Crane out to Fulton. 3-point shot on the way by number 24. Haynes misses everything. Running Crane gets the rebound, knocked away, and Bjorgi will come up with a loose ball. Fisher with the basketball. Bigfork up the right side. Will give it up to Epperly. Epperly looking, spin move, across the timeline. Epperly looking to drive. Gets up to Gilliard in the corner. Right corner to Bjorgi. Bjorgi looking to get it Thornus underneath. He's double teamed. Gilliard kicks it out. Epperly, 3-point shot on the way by Epperly. It is nothing but the bottom of the net. And pulls the Vikes within 3 at 43-33 with 4:35 to go into Tanner. Epperly guarding Tanner in the backcourt. And Tanner runs into Gilliard. And blocking foul will be on the Vikes. Gilliard, I believe. Check that. They call it on Epperly. And that's Epperly's 4th personal. And Reichenbach comes back in the ballgame. Haynes in the corner to Fulton. In his face. Reichenbach comes up the rebound. Was Colt Thornus in the face of Fulton. And Reichenbach comes up with the rebound. Epperly with the basketball across the timeline. A little over 4 minutes to go. Trailing by 10 is Bigfork. Guarded by Fulton is Epperly. Steps back 3 off the rim and no good. And Fisher right there battling for it. Fulton will come up with a loose ball. Gives it up to Fisher. Fisher looking. He's going to pull it back out. Gives it up to Running Crane. Up and under goes Fisher on a nice layup to avoid the block by Colt Thornus. And a 12-point lead with 3:43 to go. Colt Thornus gives it up to Bjorgi across the timeline to Reichenbach. They thought it was an over and back, but all 3. Fisher, 3-point way. Shot on the way by Walker. Fisher is good for 3. And 45-36 with 3:30 to go. A full timeout taken by Bigfork. I believe it's a timeout by Bigfork. What they're arguing over there on the far side, all three parts were not in the front court, so it's considered in the back court. And I'll be back momentarily from Hamilton. All right, welcome back to Hamilton, Montana. Fisher draws with him 3 closer, and 45-36, 9-point lead, 3:30 to go on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Inbound to Tanner from Haynes, and Epperly guarding him in the backcourt. Epperly's got 4. Tanner will take it all the way. He'll give it up to Fisher on the right side. Fisher looking. Pulls it up, baseline goes up. Fullerton travels, and a good call by the official. He tries to get Thornus up, fakes him up, but he's going to walk on the play. And turnover by Arlee. And Bigfork with an opportunity with 3:15 to go. Inbound to Epperly. Epperly quickly up to Bjorgi. Bjorgi saves it as he jumps up. Gives it out to Epperly. Over to Thornus. Fisher tries to get the 3-point shot off the way. Reichenbach to Fisher. Right. Fisher, top of the key, guarded by Fulton. Now to Epperly. Epperly on the right wing. They give it up to Fisher. Fisher in the left corner. Trying to get a 3-point shot off is Walker Fisher. And thumbs up is the play call with 2:45 to go. Fisher, screen by Colt Thornus, off, and Tanner comes up with a rebound. A good play, but Fisher can't quite drain it. 2:32 to go, and trailing by 9, 45-36 on your Giga Painting scoreboard. Gives it up to Fisher. Fisher nearly stole away. A timeout taken by Arlee as Epperly and Fisher had him trapped at near half court, and Arlee will have to take a timeout. Wyatt Duke checks back in for the Vikings. A 30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here. 45-36 on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. The Vikings trail with 2:25 to go here in the ball game, and an opportunity to play in the championship ball game tomorrow at 6 p.m. here in Hamilton, Montana. So it'll be Arlee basketball in front of the scorer's table on the far side as I'm sitting in a bench on the other side of the gymnasium. Tanner with the basketball. Quickly up. Tanner dribbling. Bigfork trying to press. Gives up to Running Crane. Back out to Johnson. Johnson. Looks like Fisher fouled him as he tries to reach in and make the steal with 2:12 to go. 14 fouls apiece, so nobody in the bonus yet. And that is the first on Walker Fisher with 2:12 to go. Fullerton throws in the backcourt. Epperly trying to steal it from Tanner. Tanner, pressure put on. Gives it over to Johnson. Johnson to Running Crane. Gives it up to Fisher. Fisher. Reach in by Epperly, and that will be his fifth. And a nice game by Epperly as he fouls out with his fifth personal and 15th foul. And a nice job by the freshman Arlee. And Van Kampen will check back in, the senior for Bigfork. Also returning, number 24, Tappet Haynes for Arlee. 1:57 to go, and the Vikes trailing by 9. Quickly in. Haynes, shot blocked by Colt Thornus. Comes right down to Fisher, blocked there by Wyatt Duke, but gives it up to Haynes. Running Crane comes up with a rebound as a loose ball is scrambled around, puts it off the glass for 2. 1:42, Fisher quickly up the court, and he'll get fouled there by Haynes, I believe, in the front court. And nobody in the bonus yet. That'll be a third foul on Tappet Haynes, 15th foul. And Duke will take it out of bounds in the front court. Gives it to Fisher in the back court. Across the timeline. They need to get going. Wyatt Duke gives it up. Loses it. Does Reichenbach. And Fisher comes up with it. Looking to drive all the way. And player control foul. There's a nice job there by Asher. Van Kampen takes the charge. Van Kampen set up. And number 23, Billy Haynes, runs him over. So turnover to Bigfork, 1:26 to go. Not much time left. They got to get a shot up and score with an opportunity. Gives it up to Reichenbach. Reichenbach quickly throws it away, trying to hit Wyatt Duke, who was cutting in back door on the left side. And turnover with 1:16 to go. And the Vikes trailing by 11. And Tanner will slowly bring it up. Well, the Vikes have to put him in a 1-on-1, and they only have 5 team fouls. Give it over to Haynes, the left side. Back out to Tanner. Give it up, Running Crane. Back out to Haynes, back out to Tanner. Tanner looking. Give it over to Haynes. Over to Running Crane, gets it back to Fisher. Fisher over to Fulton. Back to Tanner. Running Crane. Back to Fisher. Fullerton over to Haynes. They're going to run the clock out, and the Vikes finally foul. I'm not sure why they let the clock run down so much. And Bigfork will clear the bench. The second on Fisher's 16th foul. And Gabe Grendy, Jackson Abney, and Kyle Fulwick will come in the ball game for Bigfork to finish it up. And Haynes will inbounds with a 47-36 lead, 39 seconds to go. Tanner doesn't need to score, takes it up left hand and scores anyway. Gabe Grindy inbound to Fisher. Fisher quickly up and foul there by Tanner. And that'll be the 7th team foul, I believe. The 3rd on Tanner and a 1-on-1 and Walker Fisher. The Vikes a little bit too late on that. Thought they might foul him early and put him in the 1-on-1. Fisher's first shot off the rim and no good. Rebounded there by Fisher with 26 seconds to go. Fisher trying to get on Tanner. And Tanner goes down and Fisher fouls him with 21.3 to go. And that'll put Arlee also in the bonus. 1-1 for Tanner. And the 3rd personal foul on Walker Fisher. Fisher fouls him. He helps him up off the floor. And Tanner makes the first one. He will get one more. 21.3 to go. Vikings trail by 14, 50-36. On UPS Store scoreboard. Second one up, no good. Jackson Abney gets the rebound, number 33. Up to Kyle Folwick. Folwick looking. Throws up a 3-point shot. Is Folwick and drains it off the bench. Kyle Folwick for 3. 50-39. 5 seconds to go. No reason to foul. And Haynes knocked away by Jackson. Abney comes up the loose ball, but that's your ball game. As the Vikings lose by 11. 50-39. That'll put Arlee in a championship ball game tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Taking on the winner of this 6th ball game between Deer Lodge and Loyola. Bigfork gets to take on Thompson Falls right here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in loser out action. So it is Deer Lodge up next against Loyola. So 9 o'clock right here for Bigfork. Not enough today for the Vikes. Couldn't get it inside. And I'll get your full game stats here momentarily from Hamilton, Montana. The Vikes take it on the chin, 50-39 on your Bigfork Village floor scoreboard. I'll be back with your full game stats from Hamilton, Montana. Oh, post-game brought to you by Bigfork Village Floors, supporting the youth and activities. Bigfork for 43 years. Remember, Village Floors for all your floral and gift-giving needs. The Old Town Square at 8111 Highway 35 in Bigfork. 837-4282. Bonnie Norrish and Bigfork Village Floors. Proud sponsors of Bigfork Vikings and Valkyries Athletics and the Divisional Basketball Tournament. Well, full game stats. Asher Van Kampen gets on the scoreboard with 1 for 2 in the first half on free throws. Thorness only 1 for 4 on free throws. Didn't get a chance to score much in the second half as he's 1 for 4. And in the first half, he had a big first half. So 11 total, 10 in the first half for Colt Reichenbach with 2. And 5. Walker Fisher hits a 3 in the fourth quarter. And 0 for 1 at the free throw line. 5 total. 4 for Wyatt Duke, 2 for Bryce Gilliard, 5 for Isaac Epperly, 6 for Isaac Bjorgi, and Kyle Folwick hits that big 3. You should have seen him on the right side. He was looking to pass, and everybody said just shoot, and he drains it from the right side. And The Bigfork's Vikings fall. Brought to you by Bigfork Village Florist. You listening from Yuma, Arizona, it's Chip Tudor. And we'll have that game tomorrow morning right here on BFSD Events in loser action as the Vikings will take on Thompson Falls. Right here on BFSD Events. Once again, your final on the Bigfork Village Floor scoreboard. It was Arlee 50 and the Vikings 39. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows from Hamilton, Montana. Thanks for joining me and listening to Viking basketball. Don't forget, later on, coming up at tonight, 8 o'clock, semifinal, as the Valkyries are in action against the Thompson Falls Lady Bluehawks. Here, we'll have that game as well on BFSD Events. And we might be a little bit late as we're running slightly behind, as this next game was supposed to start at 5 o'clock. So about 15, maybe 30 minutes behind tonight as we were last night. Once again, your final is 50-39. The Vikings lose to Arlee. Thanks for joining me here. I'll catch you later tomorrow morning, or if not tonight when the Valkyries play. Thank you and good night or good afternoon from Hamilton, Montana in the 2020 Western B Divisional Basketball Tournament.